Okay. Hi, my name is Daquisha Houston. I'll be your interviewer today. Um, Thank you for joining me today. We'll be doing this interview of our coach position that we have open. This will take about 15 minutes. Is that okay with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will be getting all this information to determine if you're qualified for this position. I will also be recording this interview and taking notes. Is that okay with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's great news. Let's get started. Okay. So I want to start by you telling me about a time in your football career, because I see that you have football on your resume, where you had to take a criticism from a coach that you didn't agree with.
Um, there's actually been multiple times. I mean, because football is a game of emotions, so a lot of people do get tempted by their emotions and sometimes step out of their comfort zone. One time I have had currently or recently has been with my head coach, Coach Matt Wells. We had a view on the way he said something about my physical appearance, and throughout this time right now, it is a sensitive thing about injustice and insensitiveness. So he had made a comment on my lips, which I took offense to it. I didn't know if he was joking at the moment, but it was kind of uncomfortable because I didn't know his meaning on his quote. So it kind of threw me for a loop. So I took a few days to think about it, and I sent him a text, and I just let him know that it did I took offense to it, and that I feel like certain people should make conscious decisions on what they say or how they go about things because other people's feelings are in jeopardy, you know, and I feel like that's what makes a lot of things crumble because people don't realize other people have feelings as well.
Mm-hmm.
And through like a lot of like bad businesses or bad experience, like if you go to McDonald's and you go through the drive through and the lady has an attitude, but maybe she's just having a bad day, and through that communication you don't know, you just take offense to something like that, and you just you'll go about your day just because it's just that simple meeting. But I feel like people should be more conscious of that type of things just so that people can understand both sides of the story.
Okay. Okay. Well, tell me about your biggest failure in your career and why do you think that's
My
your biggest?
biggest failure, um I would say last year, our season, because I've been at Texas Tech. I've been on the football team for the last 3 years, and last year we happened to go 4-8, so we weren't eligible for a bowl game, and we just didn't show respect to the double T, in my opinion. And one thing that I try to do is try to show respect for the front name on our jerseys, which say Texas Tech, and the last name on the back. I mean, those two organizations, from like Texas Tech being blessed to give scholarships to other people, I feel like we let them down as a community, and then also as of my past teammates that I played with. Those guys have put blood, sweat, and tears into this game, and then I just felt like as us not winning and us being under 500, it was really just hurtful, and it was a big failure and a slap in the face to our university. And I just really want to change that for us and be able to change that. Get Texas Tech back to the same way that it used to be.
Well, I hope this season come better.
For sure.
How would you describe your leadership philosophy and style?
Um, so I'm a very vocal person. When I was younger, my parents would always call me boss because they said I was a bossy kid. I was always trying to be the leader of everybody. I was trying to tell everybody what to do and everything. So I think that I'm very hands-on, and I'm very what's the word? I'm very emotional about everything I do. So I do everything, and I want to be the best at what I do, and I don't want to fall below that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to strive. I set high goals, so if I do fall short, that I know I've hit a goal that I haven't hit before.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I guess
follow
that's it.
that. What goals do you have for this team other than winning a championship?
Um, for this team is it's to get Texas Tech back to the culture that we had before. We used to have swag back in the day. I mean, excuse my language, but we used to have guys like Crabtree, you know, in that Texas game. We had like Amendola. We had Cliff Kingsbury. We had guys who had a chip on their shoulders. They were blue-collar guys. They worked hard at West Texas stuff, and that's what we go by now, and that's what we're trying to get back to. But just that West Texas tough, meaning that you're just going to put your head down and work. It doesn't matter what your name is. You're just going to outwork the other guy just because you want to be better and you want to make this team better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So tell me about a time when you had to make an unpopular decision.
I've so we have a team core values. And so my sophomore year, our coaching staff had got fired, so we got a new staff in, and so our coach let us know that they were going to come in and they were going to put their foot down and they were going to let us know that they were the new people in charge. And so some of our team core values, I believe that some of the players weren't following them, and myself, I wasn't following all of them as well. So I informed the head coach, that some of these rules weren't being followed, and I let him know that if he gave us time, I could get everybody else on board no matter what, even if they liked it or not. So that time I felt like I pushed away some teammates, but I mean, at some times you have to weed out the bad fruit. You have to take out the bad things to get to the goals that you set.
Yeah, that's great leadership too. Okay. What are your academic and behavior expectations for players both on and off the field?
For academics, I mean, I feel like, so me and my situation, I am blessed to be on a scholarship. So, I mean, I try to make the most of it. I got here in 2017. I didn't get redshirted, so I only had 3 years in college. So every semester I take 3 years, or every summer semester I take 12 hours, and every fall and spring semester I take 12 hours. So it'll push me to graduate early, but it'll really be on time because of the non-redshirting thing, it's a backstory to that. But I mean, honestly, we have a team GPA that we try to hit. We try to hit 3.0 as a team. And if we do, our coach does, you know, reward us for that. I mean, it's not necessary because that's the expectation. But we do have that there for the other guys who do look at it in a different way. And my goals on the field and my goals on the field would be just to, you know, like I said, bring the same culture that Texas Tech had before back, and also, you know, just playing with playing with the effort that people won't be willing to or able to play against, you know, playing with that effort that, you know, no matter what it is, you're going to go 110%. And that's every down of every play. And that's what we go by. We have a thing called 44. And it's for 4 quarters, do 4 things for 4 quarters. And so it's your stance, your alignment, your pre-snap adjustments, getting the call, and then playing fast. And so that's what we go by. And then that's just the way I live by, doing everything in order for 4 quarters. I look at life as a game of football because I played football so much. So I just try to go hard every quarter that I can to, you know, get that end result that I want.
Okay, you said 44 things for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so what are your plans for your staff?
What would be my plan for my staff? Well, for a staff, I mean, I would definitely have to get guys around me who I feel have the knowledge of the game and the love for the game. I mean, a lot of people do play this game and don't truly love it, and that's what kind of hinders back the thing. Some people look at it as the perks and stuff towards being that player or that coach, but it isn't all that, because there's a lot of sacrifices that people don't really get into. So you actually have to love the game to actually be able to be in it for, like I said, 4 quarters. You got to go strong. There's no holding back.
Okay, what areas do you think you need most improved?
Most improvement probably not letting my emotions get the most of me. You know, like I said earlier, you know, most people are very emotional due to the game. I mean, sometimes you can get in a sticky situation and you don't need to jump to conclusions or act out of your emotions. You need to sit back and evaluate the situation and figure out what is the best way to go about it instead of jumping into something and then making the situation even worse.
Okay, that sounds great. Okay, and then about you, I know you was telling me about your past teams. Tell me a way that they built you. How you think they built you?
I've been around amazing guys. I've gotten to know guys who went off into the NFL are playing currently. I've gotten to meet guys who are now successful in training and like businesses outside of it. So I mean, I feel like it just brought me the camaraderie, you know, meeting multiple people, you know, working on my communication skills because there's guys from all around the world. We don't just get guys from Texas. We'll get guys from California. We'll get guys from Florida. So you get to see parts of different cultures. And then also, you know, everybody's not the same skin as you. You're gonna play with someone who might be white, blue, you know, red or anything, but you get to build that camaraderie with people, and you just get to build relationships that will last longer than football. So like I've had a coach that who recruited me when I was in high school that I still talk to now, and now I'm about to graduate college. So it's helped me build my relationships, work on my communication skills, and it's also brought me to opportunities where I've been able to display my intellectual side that most people don't know.
Okay. Before we end this interview, I do have one more question. It is based off of your preference. If you feel any kind of offense, you don't have to answer or anything. So, as a football coach, what are your intakes of the Colin Kaepernick when he was in during this time or the Black Lives moments? What are your views on this?
My views is he's a strong man who stands for something that he believed in, and I stand behind him. There has been a lot of inequality between, you know, different cultures just because of the skin or just because of simple fears from back in the days. But my personal beliefs is I believe in everything that he's saying. Black lives do matter as long with other lives as well. I mean, I feel like me growing up as a Black man in America, I've seen and I've understand what it is because I've had those conversations with my parents about how to act when you're in a certain situation and how to, you know, make sure that you're not that one Black man that gets shot, you know?
Mm.
So I mean, I believe he stood for something, and I stand behind him as well. And I will continue as myself to try to push the protest and the matters of our lives mattering because they do.
Well, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure to meet you. We'll get back to you on our decision.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a good day.
You
Bye.
too.